Israeli and American officials said the attack was intended to kill Hassan-Nasrallah, the head of the Iran-backed militia. Several residential buildings were destroyed south of the Lebanese capital. Israeli forces destroyed several residential buildings south of Beirut, the Lebanese capital, on Friday afternoon, asserting that the central headquarters of Hezbollah was underneath them. The airstrikes came shortly after Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu of Israel gave a defiant speech at the United Nations General Assembly, defending his government's handling of wars in Gaza and Lebanon and vowing to continue fighting despite international calls for a ceasefire. The target of the strike was Hassan-Nasrallah, the leader of Hezbollah, according to 8 Israeli and 2 American officials, who spoke on the condition of anonymity to discuss intelligence. It was not immediately clear whether Mr. Nasrallah was in the buildings when they were hit. At least 2 people have been killed and 76 wounded in the latest strikes, according to Lebanon's health ministry. Lebanon's health minister, Faraz Abiad, said the toll was likely to rise. He said that the strikes had caused the complete decimation of 426 residential buildings, and that the number of casualties in hospitals was so far low because most people were still trapped. They are residential buildings. They were filled with people, Mr. Abiad said in an interview. Whoever is in those buildings is now under the rubble. It was the latest in a series of Israeli strikes on buildings in the Dahir, a group of crowded neighborhoods south of Beirut where Hezbollah dominates, and one that is also home to shops, businesses, and apartment buildings. Najib Mikati, the Lebanese prime minister, said the latest attack south of Beirut proved that the Israeli enemy pays no heed at all to the efforts and international calls for a ceasefire. Photos and videos from the scene showed emergency workers searching the smoking rubble with flashlights and at least one heavy-duty excavator digging through the piles of jagged concrete and twisted metal. Thick black smoke could be seen rising above Beirut's skyline. It was like Judgment Day. Hussein Awada, 54, who was in the Dahian neighborhood of Borj al-Brine, saw of the explosions that sent shockwaves through the area. He said people were gathering outside, fearing that more buildings could be hit. Videos and photos from the site of the strike, geolocated by the Times, show at least 2 buildings that were at least 7 stories tall had been flattened in the latest attack, which also destroyed nearby vehicles and left craters in the streets. About 700 feet away, Israel's chief military spokesman, Rear ADM Daniel Hagari, said the strike had come after almost a year of Hezbollah firing rockets and drones at Israel. Israel is doing what every sovereign state in the world would do, he said. Admiral Hagari said that Hezbollah had